I'm Dr. Natalie Marks, and we're here with another quick cup of knowledge. Today joining me is Rachel Poulin. She's a licensed veterinary technician with a specialty in internal medicine and is the Midwest Director of Operations for Amerivet. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
One of the common themes we've been hearing around the country from all the technicians, and rightfully so, is they're feeling very underutilized and that there's not a lot of empowerment to grow in a lot of their positions. And this is one of your passions.
It is.
Is it not?
It
so
is.
I really want to start by saying, starting sort of personally, you have done a lot to empower yourself in your career.
Thank you.
Starting with specializing.
Yes.
How did you get interested in that?
When I got out of school, ironically, the hospital that I was working for had openings in the internal medicine department. And they said, we really need somebody that, has a thick skin and knows what they're doing, and do you mind hanging out in there for a while? At the time, I really wanted to be in anesthesia. And I was like, I'll be open, sure, I will definitely check it out. And I fell in love with it. I absolutely fell in love with internal medicine. And at a conference, about a year later, I discovered that there was a specialty in internal medicine, and I started just reading everything I could, reaching out to the people. But really the biggest thing I did to empower myself and to advance my career is I went up to the speakers. So I would be at the conference and I would hear something in a conference or something somebody was saying in a session, and I would go up to those people afterwards and say, how did you get here? What did you do? And some of them were extremely receptive and took me under their wing and helped me and guided me and introduced me to people. And some of them were like, I'm still trying to figure that out myself. I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
But that was probably one of the biggest things I did is I went to people where I saw they had something I wanted. And I said, what can I do? Because I want what you have.
And that's, I think, great advice for some techs who might not feel that that person's maybe in the practice they're currently in, right? So if they feel that they're not getting there, there are a lot of resources outside of a current practice.
There really are, and I think it's very easy to overlook that. The majority of technicians in general practice probably are not going to the big conferences and seeing all the speakers and have that kind of accessibility. However, there's still so many options out there. So I would encourage anybody to, make sure you're a member of NAFTA, because NAFTA is going to keep you updated and tell you what's going on. Get the magazines. Today's Veterinary Technician is an excellent one, and stay updated. Find out who's writing those articles and email those people and say, hey, do you think I can pick your brain for a little bit? I want to see what is the next step I can do. It can be a little intimidating sometimes. I would walk up to the speakers and be like, hi, I'm Rachel, and I kind of like what you said. But we're all very, very approachable, and we want to bring the next generation up. It's something that we aspire to do.
And for those tech students who are going to be watching this and
Hello.
thinking, hi to all
students.
of them, what advice would you give them if they're contemplating a specialty? If they're saying, I'm not sure I necessarily want to do everything, but just like you, I've been exposed to internal medicine, and wow, this is it, right?
Yes.
How do they get started in that?
The first thing you got to do is figure out what is your passion. If you're going to specialize, make sure it's something that just makes you smile, lights you up, fills your cup, because the last thing you want to do is spend the next 3 to 4 years of your life studying and swimming in a skill that you're not entirely excited about. I'm a nerd, I'm a complete nerd. So the more complicated the case, the more coexisting different diseases that are in there, that fills me up. So many of the people that I look up to, they found their niche. There's so many different topics in veterinary medicine. There's so many opportunities. So the first step, I would say, is find your niche. Find out what you want to do, and then look into that specific specialty. In terms of pursuing the specialty, make sure your expectations are appropriate. Don't do a specialty and that degree of commitment and time, and because you're hoping you'll get an extra $2 an hour. Do it for you. Do it because you want to elevate yourself. You want that level of education, and you want to see where you can take your career. But if you're doing it because you're hoping that your boss is going to say, good for you, here's an extra $3 an hour, that's putting a lot of work into something that you need to do, that you need to accomplish, but then you're relying on somebody else to give you the prize for that. So if you're going to put the work in, make sure you're doing it for you. Make sure it's something you want in your heart.
That's really great advice.
Thank you.
So there's a lot of technicians out there that are going to specialize, but it's not for everyone, right?
It's not for everyone.
So
no.
if there are technicians listening now that do like internal medicine, but maybe don't want to go into specialty, what is one thing do you think that they could start to do in their practice to elevate their level of internal medicine without having to do a specialty? Something they could get their tech team excited about that you're seeing a lot of practices maybe missing or not doing, but could be something easy to implement.
I would love to talk to some doctors and tell them, hey, your techs can do a lot. Put your faith in your techs. And if it's because you don't trust your techs, then let's investigate why. Because the technicians, they want more. They want to do more, they want to learn more. And it's so challenging with 15 to 20 minute appointments back to back, and this emergency's coming in and this one's not doing well. So I understand. But to the technicians who want more, you don't have to wait for permission to do more. Maybe you're not getting what you want in your actual practice, so go outside the practice. Get certified in something. There's Recover CPR. There's a diabetic educator course. There's Fear Free. I mean, there's so many opportunities out there. So find something out there that fills you up, and learn, just immerse yourself in it. Learn it, love it, feel it, drink it, eat it, and then bring it back to your practice. Present it to your practice manager, present it to your doctor. Say, hey, I'm certified in this. I did this on my own. I'd like to bring it into the practice. I have noticed the best return on my investment in myself is when I take the initiative. So when I say, I want to do this, I don't necessarily need to ask for permission to empower myself and grow. I can just do it. And then if I see that it could benefit my practices or something like that, then yeah, I'll bring it to somebody. But for the most part, my career growth is up to me.
And it's great confidence, right, within yourself to do that. Maybe not every technician or every veterinarian listening today or watching today has that kind of confidence.
I didn't when I started.
So how'd you get it?
I got it by admiring the people. You know, it's funny, this is a business that's 80 or 90% women for the most part. Woohoo! Woohoo! And I think I've been incredibly blessed in my career that I've been surrounded by supportive, empowered women. And I don't think that's necessarily always the case. I think sometimes we can be a little difficult with each other. Is that fair?
It is fair.
And I think when we are all supporting each other and empowering each other and giving each other confidence, that is when we all grow. So to the technicians that are insecure, that are worried about putting themselves out there, just like I was when I was a little baby tech going, excuse me, can you talk to me for a second? I really like what you have to say. You are gonna have to just take that one leap of faith, just one. Find someone that says something that you connect with and reach out to that person. I don't expect everybody to get up on stage and do a 3-hour lecture. That's not realistic, but there's so many opportunities out there. But if you are going to advocate for yourself and try to grow your own career, you do have to step up a little bit. But you don't have to go from 0 to 20, you know? You can go from 0 to 0.5 and then to 1. You could just go to that one person in your practice. Maybe it's your practice manager. Maybe it's just a senior tech that has great skills and say, can you show me how to put a central line in? Or I'm having a hard time with catheters, or I really want to get more involved with client education. If you don't have that person, start scouring the internet. Start looking to see who's writing, who's speaking, who's doing webinars, who are the people in your little cup of excitement and passion that might be able to pave a road, right? Even if it's just to open a door a little bit, and then you can go up another half a step and another half a step. But for the most part, like if I was still a little baby tech and somebody wanted to interview me, I'd scream and run. So no, we all start out deer in the headlights.
Well, I think you've inspired many of us, including me.
Oh my God, thank you.
With your words of encouragement and that leap of faith and taking baby steps to empower. And hopefully many will follow in your footsteps.
You know, when we empower each other, the entire profession elevates.
I agree.
Doctors, managers, everybody. So if we can spend some time really investing in each other and advocating for ourselves, we're going to do a service to the whole profession.
Very well said.
Thank you
so much for joining us.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.